In every man and woman lives a source of vitality that has been mystified, misunderstood, misused, and often ignored. This source is sexual energy, a force as ancient as creation itself. In our modern age of hyperstimulation and spiritual confusion, the sacred understanding of sexual energy has been buried under addiction, shame, and distraction. But those who have walked the path of inner mastery have always known the truth. Your sexual energy is your spiritual currency. Just like money buys you goods in the physical world, sexual energy, when harnessed, grants you access to higher realms of awareness, creativity, magnetism, power, and divine alignment. It is not something to be wasted, but something to be invested, directed, and transformed. This energy is the raw material of gods and kings, saints and warriors. Subscribe to this channel, like and share this video. In this video, we will explore how your sexual energy is the foundation of your spiritual wealth, how its misuse bankrupts the soul, and how its cultivation can awaken greatness beyond comprehension. Sexual energy is not just a biological impulse to reproduce. It is life force energy, known in ancient traditions as prana, India, chi, China, or ruach, Hebrew. It is the original creative spark behind all life. When two beings unite sexually, they produce a new life form, but when that same energy is redirected inward, it bursts divine consciousness. From a physiological standpoint, sexual energy is generated in the reproductive system, but its influence reaches every cell of the body. It governs motivation, vitality, emotional depth, creativity, and spiritual potential. It is a bridge between the physical and the metaphysical. When a man or woman conserves and transmutes their sexual energy, they begin to shine with charisma, clarity, and confidence. When they squander it, they become tired, anxious, foggy-minded, and spiritually empty. Think of sexual energy as spiritual money. Spending it carelessly through compulsive sexual behavior, porn addiction, meaningless flings, and lustful fantasies is like throwing your wealth into the wind. It brings a momentary high followed by a long-term deficit, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Saving it through celibacy or semen retention is like holding on to your wealth. You stop the leakage. You protect what's yours. You begin to build reserves. Investing it, however, is the highest level. This is when you transmute your sexual energy into creative work, spiritual practice, deep love, or higher purpose. Like a wise investor, you convert your raw energy into long-term growth and divine dividends. The spiritual elite, sages, mystics, yogis, monks, kings, visionaries, all knew the secret. They didn't waste their sexual energy on every passing pleasure. They guarded it. They redirected it. And in doing so, they gained influence, insight, and inner radiance. In a world where sex is used to sell everything from burgers to cars, most people are bleeding their spiritual currency daily. The epidemic of porn, hookup culture, and overstimulation has created a population of men and women who are energetically bankrupt. Sexual depletion results in fatigue, brain fog, weak willpower, emotional instability, spiritual disconnection, addictive behaviors. Why? Because the energy that could be used to fuel ambition, discipline, prayer, meditation, business, or art is being leaked to the lower chakras and never rising higher. It's like taking all your money and burning it for a quick flash of light. That's what lust does. It gives you a moment of thrill, followed by days of guilt, weakness, and regret. Every time you waste your seed or give your sexual energy to someone not aligned with your soul, you pay a price. And over time, that debt accumulates into depression, anxiety, and loss of spiritual direction. The great secret of spiritual alchemy is transmutation, turning base energy into gold. In this context, it means taking your raw sexual drive and converting it into spiritual fire, creative genius, or divine communion. Practices like meditation, breath work, kundalini yoga, tantra non-orgasmic, focused celibacy, semen retention. Allow your sexual energy to rise from the root base of the spine, up the spinal column to the brain and heart. As it ascends, it awakens higher states of consciousness, opens latent talents, and connects you to your higher self. Instead of being slaves to lust, you become masters of it. Instead of craving women or men for validation, you radiate such energy that others are drawn to you magnetically because they feel your inner richness. This is what Napoleon Hill meant in Think and Grow Rich when he talked about sexual transmutation as a key to greatness. The most successful men and women know how to redirect their sex energy into purpose, the power of retention. For men, particularly, the practice of semen retention is a spiritual game changer. Every drop of semen contains millions of sperm, packed with life force, nutrients, and hormonal potency. Ejaculating frequently depletes this storehouse of energy, leaving men foggy, passive, and disconnected. Retaining it, on the other hand, builds confidence, physical strength, radiant aura, focused mind, spiritual intensity. Retention is not repression. It's conscious control. It's knowing when to channel, when to store, and when to transmute. When practiced with discipline, it leads to stronger magnetism in personal and professional life, deeper intuition, heightened spiritual sensitivity, inner power that others can feel without you saying a word. This is why sages warned against sexual indulgence, not because they hated pleasure, but because they valued power. Sex itself is not evil. In fact, when two conscious beings come together in sacred union, their sexual energy multiplies and ascends. This is a path of sacred sexuality, or tantra, where sex becomes a form of worship, not just release. In such a union, the focus is not orgasm but presence. The energy is circulated, not expelled. The intention is spiritual elevation, not lustful gratification. This is when sex becomes currency invested into union with the divine. A true spiritual partner multiplies your energy. A lust-based partner drains it. Thus, sexual discernment is key. Not all unions are sacred. Some are a contract of karma, trauma, or destruction. Choose wisely. When you cultivate sexual energy, you start to feel rich, not just in money, but in presence, purpose, and power. You become magnetic. People feel you without you saying a word. You walk into rooms and carry peace, power, and possibility. You make decisions not from desperation, but from clarity. You no longer chase pleasure. Pleasure finds you because you have become a source. This is true spiritual currency, not tied to the stock market, not based on how others see you. It is internal gold, forged in discipline, purpose, and divine connection. Your sexual energy is not a toy. It is your treasure. It is the fuel of gods, the key to your destiny, and the most potent form of spiritual wealth you will ever possess. The world has taught you to waste it, to chase empty pleasure, to trade your sacred energy for momentary highs. But the awakened soul knows better. Reclaim your sexual energy. Guard it like gold. Invest it in purpose, love, and God. Because in the end, you are not your body, not your urges, not your lust. You are the fire behind all of it. And when you master that fire, the world bends to your light. Subscribe to the channel.